I remember learning how to tell the time by watching and obviously paying attention to this sound and to my family members who were teaching me how to tell the time by the cuckoo clock. And one day I was standing right in front of that clock back in South America when immediately an image came to mind, and I was like, hey, what will happen to my life in the future? What is it that will happen to my life in the future? And I started dreaming, how will my life look like into the future? And I was 8, so I was studying my second grade, and I was basically dreaming into the future. I call those dreams original dreams. Why? Because those are the early dreams that are developed into our imagination, and we believe them without hesitation. We don't argue with them. We just imagine them, and we believe that those are possible. So they are original because nobody told us to dream those dreams. They just came to our minds, to our hearts, and we started to dream with them, and we started to believe them and project our lives through them and by them. I remember I was just thinking about what will happen when I become 9 and 10 and 11, and I went all the way through high school. And then I asked the question, what will I do after high school? And I started to ask myself, what is it that I would like to do with my life? 8 years old, and I was already imagining and thinking and asking myself those questions. I don't really know how that happened, but I know for sure that it happened. And at one point I said, well, I could be a police officer or a doctor or a firefighter who will help out people in danger, who will police officer who will defend other people, or a doctor who will help and cure other people. So I didn't really know how to go about it. The only thing that I knew is that I saw those potential careers as a great possibility to me, and I started thinking that might happen. And then I projected myself even farther than high school and the career, and I said, well, I don't know what's gonna happen after that, but one thing is for sure, I'm dreaming to be an inspiration to many, many, many people. I don't know how did that happen again, but it happened. Again, I call them original dreams. Have you ever had those original dreams? Did you ever dream of a different life, when you know that any kind of different life or a particular life will be probably your answer, a very particular life into the future? Maybe you were that kind of person, that kind of girl or a boy who were dreaming to be, a queen, a beauty queen, or a prince, or a fighter, or an incredible basketball player, or baseball player, hockey player, an engineer, an architect, maybe the president of your country. Those dreams are original dreams. They came, nobody handed over to you. They were developed into your consciousness and maybe even deeper inside of all of us. But then we grew up, and those dreams for many, many people stopped. They were stopped by people, by our parents, by our friends, by our neighbors, by our school teachers. I don't know, by bad difficulties, or obviously bad difficulties or situations, difficulties that you went through. I don't know what happened to you or what happened to your friends or your family members, but I know that many, many people stop dreaming, and they say, well, we have to face reality. We have to go back to reality. We cannot be just dreaming or daydreaming. Actually, most of the things, everything that we have on earth that have been developed by humans, they were created because somebody was daydreaming in a way. They were imagining a different world, and they ended up just doing that. So like electricity, internet, cars, airplanes, boats, you name it, clothing, different kind of tools. And so they were developed by people who allowed themselves and gave themselves permission to dream and dream big and dream long and and didn't allow other people to stop them. But why so many of us are not dreaming that way? Why so many of us have a hard time in going back to our original dreams? In part, I think because they have been dismissed, they have been discarded, they have been buried. And I, by the way, I have a say that I developed that represents part of my thinking, and that is, if you bury your dreams, you bury many people with it. If you bury your dreams, you bury many people with them. Why? Well, because dreams are life-giving opportunities that could be developed into life-changing opportunities for many, many, many people. A dream comes true not only for the dreamer, it comes true for many, many people around this dreamer. So please continue to dream, continue to imagine a different life, a better life, a life that has been transformed, a life that has been, brought up to speed, and a life that makes sense to the realities that we are going through during this time, during this season, during this particular time when we have been faced with crisis, COVID-19, racial tensions, and so many other things, unemployment, difficulties in many, many, many levels. But we still need original dreamers and original people dreaming their original dreams. So just go back and allow yourself to, maybe you have to reconfigure, reframe the original dream or the original dreams that you had, but they are, you can recycle them, you can bring them back and kind of contextualize them into your current reality. Just go and do that. Just be tender to yourself. Stop criticizing yourself and stop making yourself something else that you are not, or somebody else that you are not. And encourage yourself with a tenderness, with a respect, with generosity, and make yourself available to your original dreams. They might not happen the way you imagined originally, but they will be able to happen in some fashion, some way, if you allow them to come through, or if you allow them to be part of your life once again. So go back and dream big. You are wired that way. You were given those dreams. Just go ahead and dream.